Hello everyone, hope everyone is doing well and safe. My name is Uday Kumar Dayalan. I'm a PhD candidate at University of Minnesota. The topic we are going to talk about today is Weir Edge towards an edge-centric IoT gateway. Before going into the research area and the solution, let's talk about some of the common IoT terms. The first one is the IoT device. The IoT devices cannot directly connect to the internet, such as your Zigbee or Bluetooth device. They don't have an IP address and they don't have support for Wi-Fi or Ethernet. Some of the examples are motion sensor, light, switch, water sensor, door and window sensor. The next one is IoT edge device. The IoT edge device are similar like your IoT devices, but they have capability to talk to the IoT hub or cloud directly without a support of a gateway. These devices have Wi-Fi or Ethernet support and they will get an IP address. Additionally, they also have storing and processing data. They have enough RAM and memory to process data locally. And these devices publish telemetry events and get configuration data from the cloud or locally. Again, some of the examples include motion sensor, light sensor, switch, and water sensor. Recently, all these IoT edge devices have capability for machine learning because of the additional storage and RAM capability. The IoT edge devices SDK can only talk to their respective IoT cloud providers. For example, an Amazon IoT edge device cannot talk to a Google Cloud. The next one is the IoT gateway device. The IoT gateway device have all the capabilities of an IoT edge device. Additionally, it acts as a gateway for the IoT devices which cannot directly connect to the internet. It also helps in translating protocols. Some examples of IoT gateway devices are Azure IoT Edge, AWS IoT Greengrass. The last one is the IoT Cloud. The IoT Cloud is a central location which receives data from all these IoT edge devices and IoT gateway devices. And it's scaled to support multiple IoT edge devices and IoT gate devices. Some of the examples of IoT Cloud are Google IoT Cloud, Azure IoT Hub, and AWS IoT Core. Next, let's take a look at the IoT system architecture. Here, I've tried to give a couple of examples. One building with a gateway device and the other building without a gateway devices. So as you can see in building one, you can see the IoT devices in the left side where they are not able to directly talk to the cloud and they depend on a gateway device. And in the same building, there is an IoT edge device which can directly talk to the cloud. And in building two, you can see there are two IoT edge devices which can directly talk to the cloud. Now, let's go one more level deep and talk about the IoT gateway architecture. There are three main components of an IoT gateway architecture: the MQTT broker, the message subscription, which is also called as routes, and last, the modules and runtime. Now, let's take a look at each of these components in detail. First, the MQTT broker. The job of an MQTT broker is to receive published messages from the IoT devices. There are publishers and subscribers in an MQTT. So the publishers will be the IoT devices publishing data, and the subscribers can be the IoT cloud or other IoT devices. It can scale from single to thousands of clients. And the MQTT broker run in the IoT gateway or in the hub. When they run in the hub, the edge devices directly talk to the MQTT broker in the cloud. When the premise have an IoT gateway, then all the IoT devices talk to the gateway, and the gateway in turn forwards the data to the cloud. Next, message subscription. The message subscriptions enables communication between two entities. The entities can be the IoT devices, the modules, and the cloud. The message subscription can be configured only in the cloud. And not only the configuration, it also needs to be deployed in the edge device to be effective. Below table consists of sample message subscription. You can see there's a source, target, and the topic. The source states who is sending the data, and the target is where the data need to be received. And finally, the topic. The topic is the key here, which knows when a data comes from a particular device, where to send. And in the picture on the right side, you can see without the message subscription, there is no communication happening in the system. That's why you don't see any lines. In the bottom picture, you will see the lines established. So that is because the message subscription have been configured and deployed. The last one is the modules and the runtime. The modules are independent business logic. It can be the machine learning algorithm, a web server, a database. The module identities image lives in the cloud and it will be deployed to run on the individual devices. The modules communicate to the runtime to send and receive data, and the runtime manages the module. Here we compare various IoT gateways from popular vendors: AWS from Amazon, Azure from Microsoft, and Google. I'm not going to cover the entire table, but some of the key differences. The first one is the runtime. If you notice, AWS runtime is Greengrass, and Azure's runtime is IoT Edge, and Google doesn't have a runtime. And each protocol supported by different vendors and the containerization support. If you notice, AWS and Azure support containerization, which is nothing but your modules, and Google doesn't have the support. And the last one is message subscriptions. The message subscription is applicable to AWS and Azure, and Google doesn't have that concept. Next, to understand the complete workflow of the IoT gateway, edge, and how it integrates with the cloud, here are the list of steps. First, we need to create an IoT gateway or an IoT edge in the IoT cloud portal, and then we have to associate each and every device with that IoT gateway. This will be your downstream devices, IoT devices, which are not capable to talk to the cloud directly. And then you add modules. If you refresh, the modules are nothing but various business logic, like your machine learning algorithm, your database, web server. And then add the message subscription between each entities. This enables the communication between each entities. And then finally deploy. The fifth step is very important because if you make all the configuration in the IoT cloud and don't deploy, then the changes won't be reflected in the edge or the gateway. And now, in order to do any modification, then you need to repeat step 3 and 5, where you need to change the modules and then deploy. And if you want to change your subscription, you have to make changes in the cloud and deploy. This helps you to understand the cumbersome process involved. Now, let's talk about challenges and solution. The reason we talked about the overview and also the various configuration involved is to understand that it is not a plug and play model. By this time, you understand the cumbersome configuration involved in this IoT solution. Now, let's look into these challenges in detail. The first one, unable to enable sites to direct the IoT sensor data to the cloud service provider of choice. For example, say I want to send all my light sensor data to IoT Cloud 1 and my HVAC data, which is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning data, to IoT Cloud 2. I won't be able to do it unless I have two gateways. Imagine on the left side, I have all my sensors connected, and the gateway, as mentioned earlier in the slide, can only talk to the respective cloud. So that is the first challenge. The second challenge is unable to send IoT messages to a single IoT gateway from multiple IoT devices, which is highlighted as 2 in the below architecture diagram. All these IoT devices can only talk to the respective gateways. For example, if I have an Amazon IoT Edge device and an Azure IoT Edge device, then I need to have both the gateways. Say if I have only an Azure gateway device, then the Amazon IoT Edge device won't be able to talk to the gateway. The last challenge is unable to manage IoT message subscriptions locally. So as we mentioned earlier in the slide, each and every entity need a subscription to communicate to each other. So for example, say if I'm adding a fourth IoT device, in order for the device to talk to the gateway, there need to be a subscription created in the IoT cloud portal and then deployed. Then only the fourth IoT device will be able to talk. So these are the challenges. Now, how did we came with a solution for each of these challenges? For the first challenge, we came up with a solution where we implemented each vendor SDK as a module in the gateway. By this, we were able to route the traffic to the cloud of our choice based on the data. For example, we were able to route all the light data coming from the IoT devices to Cloud 1 and then all the HVAC data to Cloud 2. The next challenge were unable to send data from multiple IoT devices to a single gateway. This is still an open challenge. The reason we were not able to come to the solution because each and every IoT devices implement security mechanism of their own way. There is no standard way because of which we were not able to come with a standard solution. This is something, a potential future work which we are planning to explore. But still, we would like to highlight this issue through this paper. The last one is unable to manage IoT message routes locally. If you remember, previously we talked about each and every route is managed in the IoT Cloud Portal. We brought this functionality locally by implementing a regulator. The regulator is a component which manages the routes locally. But remember, the first time the routes need to be configured in the IoT cloud. Once the route is configured in the cloud and deployed, from there, the regulator will take care of managing the routes locally using a local configuration file and a web user interfaces. So say there is already an existing route. If I want to disable, then I open the local web UI, which is in the gateway, and then disable the route. By this, when a data comes from source to the target, it doesn't directly go to the target. All the routes should be navigated to this regulator. And the regulator, based on the configuration, decides whether it need to forward the data or drop the data. By this, we were able to manage the routes locally. Next, let's take a look at the message flow in the VREG. So we were trying to explain this problem using and our solution using sequence diagram. The first half of the diagram is without the regulator and the bottom half is using the regulator functionality we implemented. So if you notice in the first half where the route happening without the regulator, the device sends the data to the MQTT broker in the gateway, and the MQTT broker directly sends the data to the local database edge function. And then also the MQTT broker routes the traffic to the IoT cloud. In the bottom with the regulator, all the data is sent to the regulator. Once the MQTT broker receives the data, it forwards the data to the regulator. Then the regulator decides whether the data need to be sent to the next function or cloud or it should be dropped. Now we evaluated our solution using various experiments. We were keen on three key parameters. One is the CPU usage, RAM usage, and the time delay. Since we are implementing a new module in the gateway, is it causing any overhead to the existing process? If you see the data, first on the CPU usage, there is very minimal overhead because a new module has been implemented. And the same has been observed in the used RAM as well. The bottom is the time delay. Now, since there's a new hop because of introducing the regulator, we want to make sure that hop is not costing any time delay for the packet from source to the destination. And you can see it is very minimal or none based on the evaluation. Finally, conclusions and future work. On the conclusion, we proposed a shift from a cloud-centric approach to an edge-centric approach to the IoT solutions. And then we introduced a component called regulator, which augments the current vendor-locked IoT platform solution and controls the message routes locally in the gateway instead of always creating message routes in the cloud and then deploying to the edge devices. And on the future work, we are planning to address the interoperability issues from the vendor-based IoT edge devices to a single IoT gateway. Hope you all enjoyed the presentation. Thanks for the opportunity. Take care. Be safe.